The mountains were cold. The fortress colder. And somewhere beyond those gates, destiny was waiting. Welcome back to Dark Grace. Crimson Dominion Part 2, The Omega at the Gate. Her name was Lira, and she had been walking for 9 days. She had lost count around the 5th day, when the mountain cold had stripped the numbers from her mind and replaced them with something quieter, the simple mechanics of one foot and then the other, the tally of berries she had found along the ridge, the small mercies of shelter under rock overhangs when the wind came down from the peaks like a living thing with claws. Lira was an Omega, and she was in heat, and she was trying very hard not to let either of those facts be the thing that killed her. The heat had come early. It always came early in times of stress, her body betraying her with the particular cruelty of biology, flooding her system with warmth even as the mountain winter bit at her fingers and cheeks. She had managed it alone before. She could manage it now. She had a kit, suppressants, binding cloth, a small glass vial of scent-masking oil she had been rationing with surgical precision. What she had not accounted for was running out of oil on the 8th day. She smelled the fortress before she saw it. Iron and stone and wood smoke and, below those ordinary things, the deep, structural scent of alpha. 2 of them. Seraphine's chest, even from this distance, even through the cold, even with everything she was carrying, responded to it with a helpless, involuntary recognition. She hated her body sometimes. Loved it too, in the way one loves a difficult animal, for its stubbornness, its will to survive, but right now, cresting the ridge with bleeding feet and a kit that had run dry of everything useful, she could have done without the helplessness of it. She needed shelter. Medicine. Warmth. She needed to get through this heat cycle without becoming someone's complication. The fortress gates were closing for the night. Lira ran. She made it through the gates on the strength of professional credentials. She was a field physician, she said, and she had the instruments to prove it, bundled against her chest in oilcloth. The gate guard was young and tired and not yet seasoned enough to separate the scent of her heat from the cold that had muted it. She was shown to the physician's quarter on the eastern corridor and told to wait. She did not wait well. She had cleaned and bound her feet, had swallowed the last of her suppressants, and was in the process of convincing herself she was fine, absolutely fine, when the door opened. Both of them stood in the doorway, not together, exactly. There was a breadth of space between Seraphine Vale and Mira Ashvane, a deliberate interval that suggested they were still in the process of deciding what the other one was. But they had clearly come together. Someone had told them. Someone with either poor judgment or a very dark sense of humor had told them both. The room was not large. With 2 alphas in it, it became significantly smaller. Lira stood very still. Her training took over, the physicians learned stillness, the way she had perfected the art of being unalarming in situations that wanted to be alarming. Seraphine's eyes tracked across her with a swift, comprehensive assessment of a woman who had spent 2 decades making threat evaluations. Whatever she found appeared to reclassify Lira from threat to something else entirely, because something shifted in her face, not softened, exactly, but opened. Like a door moved on its hinges without yet swinging wide. Mira said nothing. She studied Lira with the particular attention of someone learning a landscape they intended to navigate. "You're in heat," Seraphine said finally. Not an accusation. Almost gentle. "I am managing it." "You have no oil left," Mira observed. "I can smell the depletion." Lira wanted to argue. She had, in fact, been arguing with herself about this for the last 4 hours, and she was losing. Her body was very loud and her suppressants were depleted, and these 2 women, these 2 alphas with their particular gravity and their winter gray eyes and cedar smoke presence, were standing 8 feet away and looking at her as though she was something they had been, without knowing it, waiting to find. "I did not come here for this," she said carefully. "We know," said Seraphine. "We're not assuming anything," said Mira. "We came to check on our physician. Duskhollow has wounded. We need you functional." There it was, the practical framing, the out she could take if she chose it. Lira recognized what they were doing. They were leaving the door open. Both of them, in their different ways, were offering her a door. She looked at Seraphine first. At the steadiness of her, the solidity of someone who had decided, long ago, not to be moved by small things and had never rescinded that decision. Then at Mira, all precision and intelligence, A mind that worked in structures and strategies, but with something underneath it, a warmth banked and managed, that Lira felt rather than saw. Her heat was not a small thing. Her body understood this even if the rest of her was still cataloging exits. Close the door, Lira said. Thank you for entering the world of Dark Grace. If you enjoyed this dark fantasy sapphic story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next journey into the shadows. More alphas. More monsters. More forbidden romance awaits. Until next time. Close the door carefully. Some stories follow you home.